to it and shoot for the sky.
Backlash has been around since 1999. It's come and go throughout the years, but always found its way back to WWE's pay-per-view schedule. It's one of the oldest pay-per-views in WWE's current list of premium live events. It's also a good way to start off the new season in WWE after the WrestleMania event. Backlash has supplied us with some awesome matches, and that's why in this list, we list 10 best WWE Backlash matches. Number 1, Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle in a 30-minute Iron Man match at Backlash 2001. Anytime Benoit and Angle faced each other, it was always a physical and athletic matchup, and this match was no different. This Iron Man match has a submission-only rule intact, and both men would lock each other in crossfaces, ankle locks, sharpshooters, and more. Within the first 10 minutes, both men would gain a victory. In the second half of the match, with 20 minutes left, Angle would lead by 1 point. Within the last 2 minutes of the match, both men would tie at 3 submission victories each. The match would go into overtime, and Benoit would score the 4th and final victory to win the match. This match showcased both men's technical wrestling abilities and highlighted them as submission specialists. This match was very physical and hard-hitting, and it's just one match you have to see for yourself. Number 2, Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash 2005. At WrestleMania 21, Batista would defeat Triple H and win his first ever world title in WWE. A month later, to a Backlash 2005, Triple H would get his rematch for the title in an attempt to reclaim his former championship. This would also be Batista's first title defense, and a chance to prove his first title win wasn't a fluke. So Batista went out and fought Triple H in yet another show-stealing match. In the end, the former Evolution stablemate defeat his former leader once again, and proved that he was now a main event player and was ready to take on the world and all comers. This was just one of many bouts between both men, and it just like all their matches against one another was hard-hitting, show-stealing, and something you were invested in. Number 3, the Hardys versus Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade for the World Tag Team Championships at Backlash 2007. This match kicked off the 2007 Backlash event, and it was pretty impressive too. The veteran Hardy Boys took on the then current stars of that time, being Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade. Cade and Murdoch were very old school and hard hitters, and they aimed to reclaim the tag titles in this match. Cade and Murdoch didn't take it easy on the Hardys and came close on multiple occasions, almost ending the reign for the Hardy brothers. But the Hardys would fight off Cade and Murdoch just enough to score the win and keep the titles intact. The ending scene would see the Hardys celebrate and to rock concert, like response and ovation from the crowd. It may not be a match on everyone's list, but it sure is something to consider rewatching and appreciate. Number 4, Edge versus Randy Orton at Backlash 2020. Edge and Randy Orton competed in a match WWE labeled as the greatest wrestling match ever, with old-school referee attires and a Howard Finkel tribute, as his voice was used to announce both men to the ring. The match was given a throwback classic type of vibe. The match went on for about 45 minutes, and both men pulled out everything in their arsenals. Classic moves, huge spots, and moments. They really tried hard to deliver, and it didn't disappoint either. This was also Edge's real, authentic singles match since his return at that year's Royal Rumble match, and to be in the ring with a veteran in his own right, and the likes of Randy Orton, just added to the match. With the pandemic being in full motion, WWE needed to make these pay-per-views really hit different and make them mean something special, and this match did just that. With this match being against two former partners and then current rivals competing in a 45-minute hard-hitting, technical bout, It was a very nice touch and served its purpose to entertain fans, especially during a hard time in the world at the time. Randy Orton would in the end come out victorious. But Orton was on his legend killer character rebirth, and it was needed to further his story and character's path at the time. Even if it wasn't the quote-unquote greatest wrestling match ever, it was still a banger and won the best in Backlash history, and for that it gets a place on this list. Number 5. Cody Rhodes vs. Brock Lesnar at Backlash 2023. At Backlash 2023, Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes fought each other for the first time ever. Cody, losing to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania a month prior, needed to regain his confidence and prove to himself he was as good as he said he was. And Brock Lesnar was sure the challenge he needed to prove that to himself. Cody would come out of the gate hard at Brock, using chairs and stairs and anything else he could get a hold of to weaken the beast. Brock, being Brock, would eventually gain his strength back and punish Cody. It was then Cody realized what he was up against and came back at Brock harder and did not give up. Cody would receive suplex after suplex, shot after shot from Brock. And as Brock applied the Kimura lock, Cody would get on top of Brock and pin his shoulders to the mat just long enough to get the 3 count and the win. It was a unique way for Cody to beat Brock in a shocking way and win his first encounter with the Beast. When it comes to Brock, you take every opening and do anything possible to win, and Cody did just that. Number 6. Randy Orton vs. Cactus Jack in a hardcore Intercontinental title match at Backlash 2004. So this match was brutal. The fans and Randy himself expected Mick Foley to make his way to the ring, but when Foley walked out in Cactus Jack attire, the match's vibe and attitude changed altogether. This wasn't the Mick Foley Randy Orton spent a good portion of the past year bullying and beating down. This was Cactus Jack, who could take pain and give it even more. Randy would be taken to the limit as he was thrown off the entrance stage, hit with barbed wire and other weapons, and also be thrown on a pile of thumbtacks. Foley put on an amazing effort to capture the Intercontinental Championship, but in the end, Randy took the pain, lost tons of blood, and earned the right to retain his title and to remain calling himself Intercontinental Champion. This match made Randy Orton a main event star and proved he was a future key player for WWE's future. Mick Foley had put over a young talent, but now, without making him earn it. Randy in this match earned the right to be called the Legend Killer and Intercontinental Champion, and this is without a doubt one of the greatest matches in not just Mick Foley and Randy Orton's careers, but in Backlash and WWE history. Number 7. Stone Cold, Steve Austin, and Triple H versus The Undertaker and Kane in a winners-take-all match for the WWE Championship, Intercontinental Championship, and WWE Tag Team Championships at Backlash 2001. The rivalry between the Brothers of Destruction and the two-man power trip was getting hot and personal. Triple H was the Intercontinental Champion, and Steve Austin was the WWE Champion. Undertaker and Kane was the Tag Team Champions. The two teams would fight for 25 minutes and with all the gold on the line. Two teams walked in champions, but only one team was walking out with 4 title belts. Both teams fought for not just gold, but to prove who the dominant team really was. Kane and Undertaker started off strong, punishing Austin and Triple H, owning the yard. But Austin and Triple H would eventually take charge and own their fair share of the match. Kane, although was the weak link of his team due to an injured arm, didn't give any less of a fight and did all he could for him and Undertaker's titles. But after Kane's injury, interference from Stephanie and Vince McMahon, and a shot from Triple H with the sledgehammer, Kane was pinned and Triple H and Austin became new tag team champions and held all the gold. This was Attitude Era matches at its finest, and this was one of 2001's best matches. It's worth going back and watching if you haven't seen it already. Number 8, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock in a no-holds-barred match for the WWE Championship at Backlash 1999. So we take a trip all the way back to 1999 at the first ever Backlash pay-per-view event. Austin and Rock were in the middle of feuding for the WWE title. On Sunday Night Heat before the event, Shane McMahon was appointed the duties as special guest referee for the match. Austin and Rock would take advantage of the no-holds-barred stipulation and use everything they could to batter and beat one another. Austin wanted his Smoking Skull custom WWE title back, and he had to get through the competitor, The Rock, and the one-sided corporation referee Shane McMahon as well. Shane's objective was to help Rock win the title and keep Austin as distracted as possible. Austin and Rock were no strangers to one another, and this was just another chapter in their rivalry that would continue off and on for many years. They'd go through stage sets and announce tables and all kinds of hell to beat one another. This match would go on for a non-stop action-packed 17 minutes. There wasn't a single part of the arena they didn't fight in or use as a weapon. But after enduring all he did from Rock and Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon would come to the ring and do the right thing for Steve Austin, and Austin would retain his WWE Championship. This was an Attitude Classic, and this WrestleMania rematch surpassed their match at WrestleMania 15. Number 9. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a street fight at Backlash 2023. This match was just awesome in every way. Former friends Damian Priest and Bad Bunny both had a small feud that needed to end with carnage and fist. Bad Bunny made a rock star type entrance, which got his Puerto Rican fans up and excited for the match. These two guys put on a banger of a match going 25 minutes. Using everything as a weapon they could find, Bad Bunny not only dished out the pain to Priest, but he took a fair share of it too. With interference from the Judgment Day, the LWO, Carlito, and Savio Vega, the match was packed. In the end, Bad Bunny was able to defeat Priest and looked like a real superstar. This match was heavily praised, and the Puerto Rico fans in attendance were more than satisfied. This match deserved a spot on this list, and that's why we gave it this spot here. Number 10, Chris Benoit versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash 2004, saving the best for last. It'd be hard to go back from the first Backlash in 1999 all the way up to last year's Backlash in 2024 and find a better match in the history of Backlash than this one. Benoit, Triple H, and HBK put on one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time, and they ran it back at Backlash 2004. This time, Benoit was the defending champion and in his hometown. He already had proven he was capable of defeating both Michaels and Triple H and looked to do it again. The match was hard-hitting and physical, to say the least. They put each other through hell for the World Heavyweight Championship, and all three men wanted to leave the night as champion. Benoit would end the match by making Shawn Michaels tap out and retain the title in front of his friends, family, fans, and hometown and country. This match, along with the trio's WrestleMania 20 triple threat match, really made Benoit a main event superstar worthy of being called world champion, and this is one of those matches you have to see if you haven't already. Chris Benoit's personal life decisions in later years can never take away his wrestling abilities and history he made in matches like this. And that was our list. Let us know what your favorite WWE Backlash match and moment is. We hope you all enjoy Backlash 2025 tomorrow night, and don't forget to follow Ring Post Daily Podcast on YouTube and Facebook. Until next time, happy wrestling